Okay, this is Black Calvus, aka Brian. This is my 40-gallon breeder tank, and what we got going on here is my second attempt at breeding my wild-caught Black Calvus. That's the male right there. He's about 5.5 inches. He's a beast. In this shell right here is the female. She's roughly 4.25 inches. Now, the first attempt at breeding these two was a major failure. It was just the two of them in this tank, and he just beat her up really bad. So, took him out, put him out in the garage in another tank, left her in here, gave her about a week or so to get better. She came back. Thank God for that. I put in 2 more Calvuses that I bought from the store. They were roughly about 2 inches, and 5 Brevis, and everybody got along great. So, about 4 or 5 days ago, I got the urge to give this another try. You know, I got my females ready. I gave them some blood worms, made sure the water was right, did all the tests, everything looked good. Give it another try. Well, the first thing that happened to my surprise when I put him in there was that all the females, all 3 of them, okay, let me back up a minute here. The 2 that I bought from the store, roughly 2 inches in size, I had no idea what sex they were. The 2 of them went right up to the male and just started dancing in front of them, shaking their tails, carrying on, having a good time. And then the wild-caught female came out from her hiding place, and she did the same thing. Well, before I knew it, he had one of the domestic ones I bought from the store in this shell right here. And she's been in there. Well, I'm assuming it's a she, and hopefully they've spawned. There's been no aggression. She goes in, he goes over and lays across the opening. He's done nothing to her since 3 days ago. Hasn't even gone over here to see her. Surprising she's not out. Normally she comes out when I sit here for a few minutes, but she's way down in there. You can barely make out the shadow of her tail right down there. So, I'm hoping they spawn. Then I observed both wild-caught, the pair, the male and the female, up here at this shell. And she was going in the shell, doing a lot of shaking around, coming back out. He'd poke her back in. There she is. She probably won't come out. If she does come out, she comes out for a little bit, and then she goes right back in. So yeah, she's been in there for like 4 days now. Now the other Calvus, the smaller of the 3, is holding up. I don't know if you can really make this out. It's kind of dark. That's a skull that I had out in the garage in one of my other aquariums. There's a big hole in the back of it, so I jammed a rock down there, put rock on top, so he couldn't get in there and go after her. But they've been several attempts. I don't know if he's just trying to keep her in there or if he's actually trying to spawn with her. But it's kind of funny because she's so small compared to him, and he treats her, you know, really good. So where I'm at right now, this is like day 4, day 5. Not seeing any wigglers yet. Probably won't for another day or 2, if I'm lucky. But I spoke with this guy on YouTube. You probably all know him, JCal75, I believe, and he's been giving me some tips and some pointers here. And he mentioned I should get the Brevis out of here, and I had to agree with him because I got a concern over them because they were sitting in front of the shells trying to get in the shells, and the male, the big boy, he'd run them off, but they'd come back. So basically what he's been doing the last 2 days is he sits back here and he's made a mess of the place. He's just gone and he's been digging like crazy and spitting up sand everywhere. So, keeping my fingers crossed. From everything I've learned about Calvuses, this is the easy part. Hard part's going to be raising the fry. And I hope I get a chance to do that. But like I said, I was really surprised that all three female initiated the spawning. I've only seen that once before with my OB Philibornes. The females are very aggressive and go right up to the male and start dancing right in his face and pretty much do everything they can to entice him instead of him enticing them. So, yeah, I know the plants look pretty bad, but I'm not too worried about those right now. Just hoping in another day or two here I'd be able to see some fry. But yeah, he is gorgeous. And I have another male. He's out in the 120 out in the garage. He's probably the same size as this one. They're both close to 5.5 inches. But oh, another thing that I hadn't noticed. 2 of the 3 females did get super dark black, which could be a good sign. But the female in here is really turning like a dark black with a lot of gold in her. Kind of strange, you know, that she went from black to gold, but she is pretty young yet. So I guess that's pretty much it. But if any of you guys out there have had experience with Black Calvuses, any input you can give me, some tips, I'd really appreciate that. And thanks for stopping by and checking out the video. And once again, shout out to JCal75. Really appreciate all the time that you put into helping me here. Let's just hope things work out for the best. And maybe in another day or two, I'll have a video of some wigglers. And that's going to be the next step, you know. Pretty much I'm at the point now where I'm really debating whether I need to take him out. Because at times I have noticed when she makes attempts to back out of that shell, he'll go right over there and nudge her back in there. It's like he's not letting her come out. So she hasn't eaten for at least 3 days, which I figure is okay, but you know, I don't want that to go on for a couple of more days. She's going to need to eat. So, but again, any input, suggestions, I'd really appreciate it. Give me a shout. Hope you enjoyed the video, and maybe in a day or two we'll have another video up here with some good news in it. Take care.